Alright, it's Stasis time. I'm here, I've got my walkthrough pulled up. I've learnt from last time. I'm not going to make the same mistake as last time, thinking, oh look, I'm really smart, I don't need a walkthrough. I do. I do need a walkthrough. I'm going to get through this game if I have to lie, cheat and steal my way there. I'm the fucking Eddie Guerrero of Let's Playing. did Eddie Guerrero die? Did I dream that? I know Chris Benoit died. And it was like a murder-suicide thing or some shit. Like it was pretty gross what happened there. But I feel like Eddie Guerrero died as well, but I'm not 100% certain on that, and I don't want to like commit to it in case he's still alive, and then I'm just like spreading false accusations about a guy being dead. But I think he died. I don't know where I would have got that idea otherwise. By the way, this background sound is really fucking loud. Just throwing that out there. This is some very loud ambiance. Once again, I've mentioned this before in my videos, but I don't think I've mentioned it in my Stasis one specifically. The game volume is down to like 30% of regular. So if it seems loud at all to you, just think how badly I'm suffering right now. But I suffer for my art. I do. This is art. That's what this is. This is Edwin Tiong, that's what this is. Is a security level 0, so who cares? Unless 0 is good. Is 0 good? Does it go up or does it go down? I don't know. We do, however, have a doorway bright. The doorway's bright, indicating there's an entrance to another laboratory. Or we have the same. They're both entrances to laboratories. I'm going to pick the little tunnel rather than the big fans. I don't know why, I just got a good feeling about the little tunnel.
This is ridiculous. How did it grow this world in a few months?
Because it's the hydroponics lab and they were breeding crazy plant life in order to combat the fungus. Were you not listening? I was explaining.
The technology to accelerate plant growth. Oxygen is big business.
Well, if I'd known that, I never would have, like, gone to university. If I knew I could make money through oxygen, I mean, there's plenty of that around. My house is full of the stuff. We have a vaporizer pad. This is an evaluation platform for specimens and samples to be inserted into the glass chambers. That feels like it might be relevant because of how much it's glowing, but I don't know for certain. Got a few other bits and pieces. Got a corpse over there. Not a particularly interesting one. I don't know why all these people are dead. I assume they've been ripped apart by the beasties, but they're not as... There's not as many obvious reasons for their deaths. Alright, Dr. Sebastian Gray. He doesn't have a PDA. He has a computer. He's important. I'm saying he. I'm assuming it's a he. Is Sebastian a unisex name? I don't know. Finally, we have more room for the Linesi Harvey strain, which I've been working on so hard. So very hard. It's days like this that humanity truly proves why I crawled out of the ocean before any other. Why it crawled out of the ocean. It wasn't just Sebastian on his own. my section has been expanded. I have more staff, true, but they are drones and have little other function. Now we can expand the research potential of the Project Kitchen Knife and see what else the plants can yield. Oh, so the plants were involved in Project Kitchen Knife. Interesting. The oxygen production rate is quite unlike anything my initial projections could ever have predicted. Last year it became the worst kept secret on the Groom Lake, and all of a sudden I had more interns than I could comfortably employ. Their only function is to stumble about the place and ask troublesome questions that I have little time to answer. If only our world was more like that If only our world was more like that of insects. I'm really struggling today. I've got a headache. It's a hard time. I have plenty of workers and drones, but none of the unwavering loyalty. Bees work and work, the faith in their queen unquestioning and constant. That kind of loyalty is beyond price. These interns of mine have their uses, I suppose. We always need volunteers willing to get close to the queen. Am I surrounded by incompetence? One of those imbecilic interns got too close to the queen and she showed him her affection. He just said he wanted them to get close to her. Make up your mind. Quite amusing, though not to him. This means I must attend another accident debriefing with the board. Dr. Malan does love to test me. I see him up on the hearing bench, and he grins at me in that supercilious look of his that he's perfected over the years. I suppose then that I'll have to thank him for my current position. It was his recommendation to the board that made him hire me in the first place. Still, I believe he has come to enjoy these little power plays. He does so like to keep me under his heel. That, my dear doctor, is only a temporary solution. Once the project is complete, the chess games that we play so often will no longer be our only battleground. Regarding the project, some of the bug eggs failed to hatch properly. I suspect this is why the Queen is more aggressive than usual. There are more than enough drones to continue this collection work. Their unique chemical properties are doing wonders for the plants, though I'm running short of interns prepared to work in close proximity to them since the last incident. The worker I appreciate most is Akaza. I was astonished to discover that she is related to the legendary Dr. Ten Shu of the eugenics wars. I did consider mentioning it to her earlier, but I sense she is oddly ashamed to have him as her ancestor. If it wasn't for men like him, our profession would be a hollow shell of what it is now. Then again, if it wasn't for him, genetic research wouldn't have been put back several generations now, would it? The ethical quandaries we face as men of science. The insects are restless. They rumble in apiaries, I got that word right, well done me, and are more aggressive than usual. My personal deduction is that the presence of the marine thugs aboard the ship are the cause, armed guards all over the place. I was stopped by one the other day, and he asked me my reasons for going into hydroponics. Well, after explaining that I was the head of the damn project, I had the guard removed from his post and then the ship. This is insanity. How am I expected to progress with these thugs around? I recall complaining about the inundation of interns. If only they were still here now. Both Ivan and Theodore, that's the other name, disappeared from their rooms last night, and I had to speak to security about their whereabouts. They were Akaza's assistants, and now the production of the Queen's Royal Jelly has slowed down exponentially. It's been a huge blow, but a rather extraordinary anomaly has appeared in our growth pods, a hitherto undiscovered strain of fungus. Its origin is something of a mystery to me. These fungal growths fascinate. At first I thought it was common, garden variety mould, but after a substantial analysis performed by Akaza, it seems to harbour neuron activity. Oh, it's smart fungus. That is to say, it seems to exhibit rudimentary signs of intelligence. I just said that. We've certainly created some unusual species on the deck, but the idea of a quasi-intelligent fungus growing and evolving of its own volition is exciting and frankly frightening. I've asked Akaza and the remnants of her team to cultivate it, but exhibit caution in where it is spread. Okay, so this guy caused the fungus, basically. He did the fungus. Silly boy. I was asked by one of Dr. Milan's assistants if the fungal substance discovered growing in the bowels of the ship had anything to do with us. I lied, of course, but this is becoming alarming. Our experiments flourished at first. We may have lost more staff recently, but our experiments have been fruitful indeed. Confidentially, the properties of the fungus is both extraordinary and terrifying. It has a remarkable ability to take control of a living subject's central nervous system and hypothalamus. Got that one right as well, look at me go. As observed in the monkey we used for testing. The monkey shrieked and thrashed in rage for the first few days after it was exposed and then became quiet, observant and uncannily intelligent. It's certainly aggressive, but then again, which viruses aren't? Well, this has been quite an insight. This has been quite informative. So the bad things that have been going around killing everyone, people possessed by this fungus is the fungus. The fungus is the problem. The fungus is the root of all evil. I knew the fungus was fucking things up, but then I thought something else had happened. I thought it might be something to do with the mutants, but the mutants, it appears, were just failed things floundering around in the pools of goop, so they weren't actually an issue at all. It was the fungus that's the problem. We never did have a showdown with Samantha. It's a shame. No, no, no. We've officially lost control of the deck. Eden now truly belongs to the beasts. We've seen strange things. I watched as the fungus took control of the deck, as it spread through the staff, and much to my shame, I watched their deaths and examined their bodies. Nobody can cross the pods because the bugs are so aggressive that when Solomon went through in a rad suit, they ripped it from his body and stung him to death. It took mere moments. Still, I live in the hope that the insects will remember me, their creator, perhaps see me as one of their own. I'm assuming that didn't happen. Oh, there was an email as well. Let me back in. Oh, there's two. Okay, from Akaza. This is Akaza Tenchu to Sebastian Gray here. Dr. Gray, I do not wish to seem unprofessional or impolite, but I would ask you not to press me on the subject of my ancestry any further. I was nearly refused entry to medical school on the basis of my family's background, and the torment I suffered at the hands of my school peers regarding my great-great-uncle was unbearable. I am fully aware of his actions, and I have seen countless photographs and documents of the consequences of his work. I took this position to change our world for the better, not to be reminded of the skeletons in my family's closet. I've enjoyed our working relationship thus far, Dr. Gray, but I prefer my family history no longer be a topic of our conversations. Thank you for understanding. Okay. So she seems like she was genuinely quite a good person, but Dr. Gray was fucking things over a bit by his lust for knowledge or whatever. You know, classic mad scientist bullshit. This is from E.F. Way. Who is E.F. Way to Dr. Gray? I don't know who E.F. Way is. I know we've seen an Erica, but I don't think her surname was Way. I don't know. Dr. Gray, I enjoyed our meal yesterday. It was refreshing to hear a man so outspoken on the ship. I appreciate your candour, and I do agree that perhaps it's time the board was shaken up a little. Sounds like it's someone important if they're on the board. Although this is merely an observation rather than an action plan, I think the top leadership needs some new blood. I'd second you if you decided to take on the challenge yourself. Your impeccable scientific pedigree more than qualifies you. By the way, did you know they were keeping... what? Did you know where they were keeping that new cargo? It seems like rather a waste of resources if they won't even tell us where it is. Okay, there was new cargo as well. Alright, well that was a nice little lore dump, but... metal plaque? Metal plaque. Metal plaque. Metal plaque. Metal plaque. Metal plaque. Is that all we're gonna get our hands on here? There's another computer terminal. What's this one? The Vaporizer? Well, now I'm interested. The Vaporizer, the perfected Mark V model of the Kane Corporation Trans-State Modifier. Using advanced and unique molecularization... fucked that one up, didn't I? Technology, the Vaporizer has the ability to shift a targeted substance between gas, liquid and solid states without any of the structural breakdown seen in objects shifted between these states on a regular basis. The Mark V is the latest model, but it has yet to be rolled out in mass production because of the current difficulty fueling the Vaporizer with resources on board the Groomleg. Recent experiments undertaken were more than satisfactory, and it passed the Kane safety and security test with no adverse effects causing harm to the user observed. What? Someone being shifted between solid, liquid and gas saw no adverse effects? I assume this is talking about the person operating the machine, not someone being actually vaporized. I assume. It's been graded to level 4 because of the specific nature of its technology and the limited quality of existing vaporizers. During the experiment recently carried out on the royal jelly produced by hydroponics, Dr. Gray and the other observers commented on the remarkable speed at which the jelly was transformed into gas, thus placating their insect population.
Chamber compromised. Chamber is not airtight.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess we need to tape this up or something. What have we got in our inventory? Nothing that's going to be useful here as far as I can tell. Let's have a look in the other lab before we start agonising over... oh, there's a this way as well. Didn't realise there was a this way as well. We'll stick with our original plan. We'll head into the light. Head towards the... That'll be the queen then.
It's tied up. Doesn't look like it can get loose.
Tied up. How big is it?
Well, I wasn't expecting this to still be about. I don't know what the deal with the insects is, necessarily. The insects seem like an additional spanner in the works. I was starting to get my head around what was going on in here, but he did mention the insects and the queen and all that, but got some hardened amber. That's quite nice. We got a tree. I'm just going to go play with this computer terminal. Don't mind me, Queenie. Okay, we can activate the suction pumps. We can milk the insect. We'll get back to that though. Oh, okay. Monday, healthy, docile, responsive to stimuli, milking as normal. No activity. Healthy, heightened aggression, recommended milking with only experienced staff. No activity. Healthy, highly aggressive, 3 personnel wounded in milking. Healthy, quiet, usual brooding behavior. Milky normal. Milky normal. Did I just say milky normal? I guess I did. Healthy, aggressive, 1 fatality via venom pouches. Has venom pouches. That's good to know. I love it when a thing has venom pouches. Oh, we got some personal logs from Akaza. This should be interesting. Oh, praise God Almighty, I couldn't be happier. Dr. Gray took me to one side and told me I was the only person who had the skill and ability to take control of the nursery. He promoted me on the spot and said that I was now personally responsible for the Queen. Lucky you! The royal jelly that she produces has proved to be incredibly useful. I discovered through my own analysis that not only is the jelly an essential nutrient for the insect population, but that it has other amazing physical properties too. It accelerates molecular bonding in certain substances, acting as a thickener for many natural substances while also regenerating their natural properties. Those were some words. With some engineering, I imagine we could turn this into a useful medical breakthrough. I imagine doctors in hospital wards on Earth using our bonding agent to heal wounds instantly. Perhaps, finally, the Tenshu name will be revered in medical history instead of reviled. Keep dreaming. The Queen is a temperamental little thing. Yeah, you say so. A fiery lady, to be sure. Ah, but Queenie, you forget, I grew up in a family with more than one fire-breathing dragon. If I can handle my mother, I can certainly handle you. Ha! Although, when she is milked, she's rather docile. I dare say she's rather attached to me. I'm sure I heard her purring at me. It's the only way I can describe it. I'm aware that she's a bug and all, but it sounded rather like approval. My parents kept hives of bees, so I've never been squeamish over insects, and I can tell the difference between aggression and favour. I'm still the only person who can get close without being bitten, and her bite can leave one hell of a mark, let me tell you. Hodgkins said he'll report this side effect upon the return from sick leave. In other news, Dr. Myrick, one of Dr. Gray's subordinates, has requested samples of the jelly for experiments with his tree resins. He thinks it might have a use as an industrial adhesive. This is a little away from my original intention, but I suppose it's a start. I try so hard to be positive, to be the person whose enthusiasm never once flags or fails, but when you start hearing rumours that appall you to your very core, I tried to shrug it off, but recently it's become harder to deny it. I've been hearing sounds from the elevator shafts, the sound of a wailing infant crying out in pain before suddenly getting silenced. That is no rumour. Sometimes I lay awake at night and I swear I hear the crying of children. I can't be dreaming. I saw Ingracia to confess my fears. She gave me a prescription to help me sleep, and something in his eyes said that... I assumed Ingracia was a woman. I guess that's his surname. He gave me a prescription to help me sleep, but something in his eyes said that he knew I was hearing something real. And worse, it was something he was hearing too. More rumours. Dr. Milan is using children in his research. I have to ignore it. If it were true, Kane would remove him immediately, surely. Even Dr. Gray appears to find it an uncomfortable subject for discussion, and this is a man who slept easily when Isaac got his left cheek torn off by the Queen. Is Dr. Gray short of staff again? Once again I'm being forced to manage multiple projects, only this time it's an examination of an acutely destructive new spore that seems to have infected a few of the pods. First observation, it's a parasitic fungus that grows faster than a common weed, but like a common weed, I feel it should be destroyed. But I know that Dr. Gray won't do it. He, like many other senior doctors, sees a new species as something to be exploited or weaponized. In the darkness something stirs. I can't say what, I'm too afraid to find out what it is. When Ivan and Theo disappeared even a month back, we assumed they'd somehow deserted. That was the official stance taken by Dr. Milan on the board anyway. Last night's events proved that there is something on board with us, though God knows where it's from. The Queen is more rambunctious than I've seen her before, and milking her was certainly more challenging than I'm used to. Edmund was assisting even. We've been short of staff and some of our volunteers are simply refusing to show for work. The Queen's environment has been distributed on a great deal so that her violent tendencies are more pronounced. Edmund was on his way out of hydroponics when it happened. Something pulled him into one of the air ducts. I didn't see much. I saw him walking towards the decontamination chamber, and the next moment his legs were kicking in the air as whatever it was dragged him up into the ceiling, while he squealed like a pig. I'm resigning tomorrow. I did not sign up for mad science. I came to Kane to serve humanity and clear my family's name, not watch my crewmates be slaughtered by a species Dr. Malan refuses to confirm or deny. If only I'd resigned when I said I would. And if only they hadn't ignored my demands to have the infernal fungus destroyed. It's growing over me now, over my skin. It's burrowing into my flesh. The insects attacked again today, and it only seems to worsen. Dr. Gray was destroyed by a swarm of them, and now he is only fertilizer for that ever-ravenous mould he was so curious about. The uninfected are making an attempt to escape. This doesn't include me. The emergency flares keep the bugs away. I told them to give me the flare to hold back the bugs so they could get away. I hope they escape soon. The fungus is making my head feel funny. I'm sure I can feel it growing through my ear canal. Okay. So I change in plan again then. Obviously the insects, the children of the Queen here, were the ones that have been attacking people, were the beasts that people were reporting attacking people before. The fungus obviously was killing people as well, but more slowly, and I don't think it was making them go mad or anything. I think I assumed too much there. This is from Gray to Asuka. With the greatest respect, can you please stop the ridiculous pranks your group insist on carrying out in the fertilization chambers? I will admit that they're hardly dangerous, but they're undignified. I certainly wouldn't like to be present when a Kane inspector stumbles upon young Theodore racing in front of the Queen, hands on his head while shouting, "I'm covered in bees!" It's unprofessional. Please instruct them to cease their foolishness at once. Kind regards, Dr. Gray. There's that EF way again, contacting Asuka this time. Don't worry, I don't think you're losing your mind. Ghosts are a possibility, but I suspect what you're hearing is perhaps the sounds of devices playing in other parts of the ship. I do believe at the moment that the corporeal world and the spirit world are very much divided, so try to calm yourself. If you would like, I can talk to someone in cargo storage about these sounds, but I wouldn't worry about it. The island is full of noises, but pay them no mind. For once I'm quoting Shakespeare and not the Bible. Get some sleep and maybe do a few quieter night shifts. No, I got that completely wrong, didn't I? I said some words, though. I said some words, and they'll do. So, this E person is Eleanor. She seems to be a doctor or a psychiatrist or something. Right, what we're going to do... Because Asuka mentioned the Queen is more docile when milked. Is that we're gonna milk her good and proper. We're gonna suck all that glorious juice from her titties, from her tatas. Go for it. Okay. I understand that was a mistake. I'm willing to accept. Got a big smiley face appearing above it though, so I mean it must be a nice giant bug, right? I thought milking it would make it docile. That's what they said. That's what they told me. Was it all a lie? Yeah, I know, John. John, I know. John. 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 I know, John. I'm familiar, John.
Tied up. How big is it?
It's big! Alright, we're gonna remilk the bug. That seemed like a decent first step at least. There's a button to press, you should probably press it. Can we just like keep milking it over and over again? Can we collect all the bug milk? Oh, hello. Didn't notice that. Because I'm a dum-dum. Get the milk. Queen milk. Cool. Right, I guess we can probably do something with that, but we'll get to that. What is this way? What lieth beyond? Okay. Little buzzy things. Bit worried about the little buzzy things. Are they going to eat my skin? I like my skin. I like it firmly attached. There are these.
Oxygen levels increasing.
Cool. Can never have enough oxygen. Let's do another one. Oh. I guess they ate my skin. Oh wait, so are these the bugs? Are these the bugs in question? Oh, I'm just confused now. Because if these little things are the bugs, right? These little baby boys are the bugs. Oh, you wasted no time there, John, did you? Then maybe I was on the money first time round regarding
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
what was I saying? Regarding the fungus making people go nuts. We'll oxygenate, we'll oxygenize, we'll oxidize, we'll oxidate. I feel like I need to do something with this queen's milk. Can't just rub it on myself to make me. Where are you trying to make it fit, John? Can we make a milk gun? Hmm.
It doesn't work like that. No, that won't work.
No, you're right. It probably won't. Right, so we can't go any further down this way for now because there's a bug issue. So we'll leave that be. Is there anything we can do with that milk back in this room? Can we turn the milk into a gas, which we can then release on the unsuspecting bugs and make them docile? Is that a possibility?
Vaporizer chamber compromised.
Hmm.
Chamber is not airtight.
You're right. You're very right. I couldn't have said it better myself. How can we...
I don't know what I was thinking there.
No, we can't just seal it up with a plaque. I mean, it was a thought. You can't tell me it wasn't a thought. It was a legitimate theorem. What are we likely to be able to use to seal up a vaporizer? What's the best bet for sealing vaporizers? What's the WikiHow article on vapor? Oh wait, hello. This amber's an incredibly tough compound.
No, that won't work.
Can we get into this somehow?
I don't think that'll work.
No, I don't either.
I think that'll just break it.
Yeah, probably. Can we make endless milk? Give me more milk. I want a nice big collection of milk. How is this thing still alive, by the way, if it's been on its own strapped up here for like 2 months? Does it not need to eat? Are the little bugs bringing it food? Give me that milk. Oh, I can't have more than one milk. You're not giving me multiple milks.
I don't think that'll work.
No, me neither. Me neither, bud. Milk cables. Milk cables.
This isn't going to work.
We can't put the milk into the milk cables. Oh, okay, so the milk is already travelling up them into the tree. The tree is being fed with the milk, and it's producing the amber. That's very interesting, but I don't know what it means for me, though. You know what I mean? You picking up what I'm putting down? My options are super fucking limited in here because, I mean, you know, bugs. Because bugs.
That's just crazy.
I know, it is, isn't it? So fucking crazy. Completely wacko jacko. Completely unhinged. That's what they call me, Unhinged Joe. I don't know. I'm just looking for solutions here. in not so likely places. Can we put my personal data tag into this corpse? I think it would. I think it would, technically. Can we... milky corpse. Can we use the milk to repair the cracked glass?
Try to make it fit, but it may break.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right, honestly. It may break. It's not like it's already fucked or anything. Alright, here we go again. This is what the walkthrough exists for, after all. Helping my tiny, tiny fucking Neanderthal brain catch up with the modern day science. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. When you move your pointer over the queen insect, you'll see they can be interacted with. Careless interacting will lead the queen to eat you. Well, yeah, we know that. But go right next to the queen insect and watch its pincer. Okay, so we just gotta wait till it's in a good mood. When are you gonna be in a good mood? We need to milk you. You get happy when you've been milked, right? You love being milked. Yeah, I love that milking. Yeah, that makes you happy. You love being touched that way, don't you? Alright, I guess we just wait now. Come on, let's see that smiley face. Let's see that cheeky grin of yours. See that? Let's see that happen. Come on. Come on, perk up. Not the end of the world, you're just strapped into a milking machine. Thank you! Now that you're happy, I guess I'll just take your fucking claw. I don't know why I did that.
That was too close.
I don't know why I did that, but I did. I did do that. I did do that good. Okay, I didn't know this was actually what I was supposed to do, but... Hooray! Hooray! I guess that little... Once again, I just needed a little clue. Just needed a little,
Maybe if it...
No, I didn't even mean to use the gun then. I don't know why the gun menu was up. But I'm hoping that my initial assumptions were correct and I can... No? No?
Maybe.
Oh, I really felt like I was onto something there. I really felt like I was on the right track. I mean, we clearly have to patch this up somehow. What do we do with this tree sap then? Do we combine it with cream milk?
I think that'll just break it.
Yeah, probably. Oh. Oh, metal plaque with tree sap. Yes! Yes, Joe! Yes! Trial and error. It's the solution to every problem. Now, let's make some gas. Make some fucking gas. Okay, can I have it now? Oh, yes I can. I'm not sure if this panel is meant to be a white void. I feel like there's just a sprite missing there, honestly. I feel like something like should have been a machine that like chomped it down and then spewed it back up again, but whatever, it's fine. We have our gas now. And I'm feeling like the next part of this solution is going to involve
No. Crazy.
use it on yourself, John?
I don't think this will fit. I don't know what I was thinking there.
I just want you to release the pheromone, honestly. That's what I'm thinking there.
It doesn't work like that.
You don't work like that. Do we put it in the gun?
I think that will just break it.
I think the milk would just break your face.
Probably not a good idea.
I have pheromone.
Maybe if it...
Are they just gonna let me? No, they're not just gonna let me. Oh. Oh, see, there's no point in this death because I don't get an achievement for it the second time round. What a waste. What a waste. Got jam all over my screen for nothing. As delicious as jam is, I don't really want it on my screen. Okay. We have to do something with this pheromone, clearly. It seemed like it would make sense for this sort of tank canister thing which is spewing out gas to instead spew out the pheromone.
I don't think this will fit.
But I guess we'll look around and see what else we can do with this pheromone. Do you want your pheromone?
I don't think that'll work.
No?
This isn't gonna work.
I keep just trying to rub it on myself. I feel like that's the most sensible option. If I smell like a queen, then I will be a queen, and that's always been my dream, honestly. Ever since I first saw David Bowie. Can we do another one? Do another one. I don't think they expected me to do this, but I like to defy expectations. Thanking you. Oh, I've only got one now. It consumed my backup. What if we put this back in? No, we can't further gasinate it. We can't make it even more gassy. A newfound substance beyond mere gas, known as super gas. Gas squared. Gas to the power of gas. I don't know, I feel like I'm more or less where I need to... Do I just throw this into a fan?
I think that would break.
Yeah, I think it probably would, to be honest. But I'm running out of ideas here. I've got to just be missing something in this room. Like, I feel like we have the key ingredient here. We have what we need.
This isn't gonna work.
It's got a... Yeah? Yeah? Yeah! Well, alright. Well, alrighty. Oh, that's a fine how do you do, isn't it? All the pieces just slipping into place there.
Oxygen levels increasing to dangerous levels.
Is there such a thing as too much oxygen? Can I be too oxidized?
It's beautiful.
The oxygen garden's my favourite part of any ship. Green, full, natural.
John, you have a strange idea of what beautiful is. There's just fucking corpses everywhere. Plus it's, you know, just some fucking murky waters and some leaves. Like, the previous screen was genuinely nicer looking. Which I can't seem to return to anymore. Oh, I can, good. I thought I was trapped here forever then. So we have a corpse, we have a corpse, we have some water, we have a bridge and observation platform. We've got lots of stuff going on, but we'll start with the body engulfed in vines. It had a flare. Oh, a flare. That must be, what's her name? Azuka? Akaza? Akiza? Yakuza? I don't know, one of them foreign sounding names. Yeah, because she said she was given a flare to protect herself or whatever, because the bugs don't like it. Don't know why she was here, but her PDA was in... Oh no, it wasn't a PDA, was it? It was a computer, so yeah, I guess that makes sense. Can we play with this? Can we raise the oxygen levels even higher?
Oxygen levels pose a fire hazard.
Good. Good, that's what I like to hear. I can't interact with this one at all, But, I mean, I feel like this is a bad idea, but the oxygen levels pose a fire hazard, and I have a flare.
No, that's ridiculous.
It's pretty fucking ridiculous. I can't argue with you there, dude. What's this thick vine? Is it anything? A growth agent has spared the growth of the growth to growth. It is now half as thick and round as the hatch you entered through. Cool. That's nice. Thing moss covered something over there. Moss covered metal wall. Let's go back to the other room. Let me throw this at the slowly spinning fan. Says John. I don't think that's a very good idea, Joe. I'm John. I have opinions on things. Verdant plant life covers nearly every surface in the room. That's cool. Glad to hear it. Every so often the overflow from this collection pool spills into the human form below, anointing its face with water. Alright. That's nice. That's cool. Can we put the flare in the pistol?
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
Yeah, it did seem pretty dumb. But you never know. Really gotta do something with this fucking flare, haven't I? Do I shoot it at this corpse? At Frank Fleury, the bartender? Where the fuck was the bartender here? How did you end up here, Frank Fleury? How did that happen? How? Why? What purpose? Vine ripples like it's sinews of a giant's arm. If the vine continues to grow, the metallic support slab won't last much longer. Ah, that seems like a clue. Can we do something to the metallic supports?
That's just crazy. Although, no, crazy.
There's not just like another exit to this room. Hang on, what? Oh, I'm a dum-dum. I didn't realise I could go under here. I thought there was a wall. I thought there was a wall. That one's alive. That one's alive. That's Eleanor. We heard about Eleanor. She was the one they were both emailing. She's encrusted with fungus and vines, a human nerve centre for the twisting growths around it. Appallingly, she is still alive. Oh no, I don't want to have to deal with this today. I don't want to have to deal with this. Hi, how you doing? Are you okay there?
I could get you out. I could cut you free.
Her body is an insect hive. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I mean, I could throw a fucking flare at you, but that seems a bit harsh. I think my gun's a bit empty.
This isn't gonna work.
Can I just read your PDA while you sit there suffering? Do you mind? So, Eleanor, let's hear about your deepest, darkest secret, shall we? While you're sat there doing whatever it is you're doing, being a host. The Lord is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and great in loving kindness. The Lord is good to all. I simply wish his kindness had extended to Chelsea. The galley chef told me that a few of the other crew members are uncomfortable with having an ARG patient on staff. Don't know what that means, but okay. I asked if her work was in any way below standard, at which point she grew uncomfortable and admitted exactly as I thought. No, she was a superb worker, but the team were uncomfortable with her anyway. Being a geneticist and a Christian may appear contradictory to most, but that is their burden, not mine. I believe in grace and mercy. It wasn't Chelsea's fault that she was born an ARG baby. James, my ex-husband, blamed me. James wanted her terminated, and when I refused, he packed up and left. That suits me. I'd rather be without an unloving husband and father than without my beautiful child. And she is. She is beautiful, a gift from God. And for a ship full of the most supposedly forward-thinking people in the galaxy, her aversion to her condition repulses me. Wait, so... Oh, so Chelsea's her daughter. I get it, I understand now. I thought it was just someone she knew, and it seemed like she was talking about her informally up there, but I was just reading it wrong. It's fine. Tolerance and patience are virtues greatly praised by the Lord, and aboard the Groom Lake I find my stories of both these virtues sorely tested. I discovered through one of my subordinates that a new shipment arrived on board a few days ago, destined for Project Seed. My disapproval of the dangers of Seed are no secrets. Considering the size of the shipment and the clear attempt to cut me out of the loop regarding the delivery, I suspect some of my colleagues are trying to mask the precise nature of what it is that has arrived. If it is as I suspect, there will be no, and I mean no, lengths I will not go to in order to depose Mr. Milan. Kane Corporation is a company for the promotion of the sciences, not for the sinister schemes and unprincipled ambitions of individuals. I have moral issues with Kane and their weapons research. It tests my faith, but Kane's medical breakthroughs have changed the world, and my world too. It's because of Kane-created research that Chelsea is even alive. This is why I do what I do. I work in genetics to find cures for my dearest Chelsea, and others like her. Not for money. It's my job to put things right for her. I had lunch with Dr. Gray this afternoon. He is an odious little man and utterly misanthropic, but if you need somebody to talk about Project Seed, then there are few people who give up information more easily. His ego easily outweighs his sense of confidentiality. Project leaders and project managers are not allowed to discuss details of individual projects, but he can't resist himself. Nevertheless, he revealed disturbing details. I'm aware of our sample origins? Yeah, sample origins. I expected to say simple origins, but it's not always the word you want, is it? We need human genetic material in order to develop cures for human beings. It's a hard truth, but there's paperwork, permission forms, and contracts that create the supply. The shipment has none of those things. They're children. Oh God, in all your mercy, how could you let Milan, that unholy monster, do this? It's taken months, but finally I found a young cargo worker named Danica Boxer. That's a name I know. She was referred to be by Dr. Tenshu, such a sweet girl. It seems the cargo was a combination of adults and children, all of whom were required through illegal channels for use in genetic research. I did not agree to this. I'll leave this place and take Chelsea with me before I spend one more minute working for a company that endorses the use of children in research. There are not enough words to describe the soulless creature that did this. Revenge? I don't believe in revenge. Beloved, never avenge yourself, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay," says the Lord. Where is she? The creatures are attacking in full force. The screams are all over the radio. They're dying, they're all dying. I hear them scuttle through the vents, see the blood they spill and spray over the walls. Chelsea. Chelsea, oh God, please bring her to me. I'm trapped in hydroponics. Please let my little girl find me. I can see Chelsea inches from me, lifeless. I contemplated taking my own life as she did just before my eyes. When those creatures attacked, the crew sealed off parts of the ship and I was left trapped in hydroponics. The fungus got to me and now it's inside, profaning my body. Its nerves wrapped around my cerebral cortex. I can feel it move. I try to move my arms, but it won't let me. It's making me watch the fungus consume my baby girl. I just watch and pray for the end to come. So then it does not depend on the man who wills or the man who runs, but on God who has mercy. Oh, okay, that's Dr. Gray. I see. So Eleanor here was talking Dr. Gray up and making him out to be a good legendary scientist man in order to get information out of him. I understand. And then this was the email that what's her face Azika be at the bottom, won't it? Akiza. Let's go with Akaza. This will be the email that she was responding to on her email system. Dr. Ware, I know that you're a spiritual woman. At times I receive a great deal of criticism for this, but I feel I can speak to nobody else. I'm well known for my positivity and cheerfulness, but I believe I've earned my nickname, Dr. Gray's Smile. I'm haunted by what I'm hearing on this ship, and I wonder if perhaps it's merely induced by my own fears. Oh, to hell with it. I'll ask you straight out. Do you believe in ghosts? You may think that I'm being ridiculous or delusional, but I can hear things. Children crying deep in the bowels of the ship. I work many late nights, and I'm convinced that I can hear crying through the vents. Where are these sounds coming from? I did hear rumours that before the Groom Lake was refitted, a group of children were brought on board and their quarters are on this deck. There was a malfunction with the heating units and, well, they all died. I don't want to seem like I'm wasting your time, but I enjoyed our talk yesterday and your open-mindedness about matters of the soul. Kind regards, Akaza. Okay, there's two dead people here. I'm not seeing Eleanor's daughter. I guess she got completely consumed? Right? There's not another corpse here, and she said she sat and watched her be consumed or whatever by the fungus. Alright, I guess we'll try this. Really? Is it gonna let me do this?
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you end this. But you need to help me first. I don't need you to leave. I need you to crack this flare. The oxygen will ignite. Then you will die.
Kablamo! Wow, big booms, big fire. Big bad fire booms.
Extreme external temperatures detected. Plug suit has regulated body temperature to benchmark level.
The fire systems just went haywire over here, John. What did you do?
Fines.
With a flamethrower?
Something like that.
Fire in Oxygen Gardens 1, 3, 5, 6, 9. Fire in Oxygen Gardens 2, 7, 8.
That's all of them. No, wait, no, it's not. What for?
Fire suppression system activated. Warning. Fire suppression system compromised.
Suck it, fire suppression system.
Shit. Oxygen production has been compromised. Are the biomes still intact?
Well.
Oh, God, please don't say burn them out.
Just the one on this level.
It's caused a chain reaction, John. They're all going up. We have a time limit now. Hours at most.
Get my daughter right now.
Alright, Liam Neeson. Let's go get your daughter. Wow, the music got big. Well, I guess we're moving on. What was the point in any of that? What was the point in that floor? We just chilled on the floor for a bit and set fire to some shit. Could we not go down any further for some reason?
Little shit. What have you done?
Listen to me.
Fire cleanses. Mr. Maracek, I'm gonna make sure you burn for what you and your friends have done to me. To my heart.
My friends?
Please. I have nothing to
You just did it, John. You gotta own up.
Get much further. Goodbye.
Bye.
Shit here. Where is Rebecca?
She's in the containment area at the other end of Seed.
And next time in this series, we shall go and retrieve her. Maybe, possibly, potentially. I don't know. I guess that's where we are now. We're in Seed, right? So, fucking A, let's do that next time. Yeah, I'm going now. The ship's on fire, everything's gone to hell, like as if it wasn't hell enough. Fucking A. See you guys around.